Be Me, 31, single, lives in a city with more bike lanes than common sense. Job is community outreach at a nonprofit that prints glossy brochures about empowerment. Office walls are covered in quotes about smashing structures. Apartment has plants, candles, and a framed poster that says women do not need permission. Tell friends I am not anti-men, just pro-women. Small voice inside says, I have not given a man the benefit of the doubt since high school. Backstory chapter. Dad dipped when I was 8. Mom turned resilience into a religion. Heard the sermon every bill cycle. Men leave, men fold, men forget. Eventually those lines stopped sounding like stories and started sounding like traffic rules. College happens. Found feminism like a lighthouse in fog. Seminars gave names to feelings I had been carrying in my shoulders for years. Patriarchy, unpaid labor, conditioning, all the vocabulary I needed to sort blame into tidy boxes. Joined campus marches, wrote think pieces, learned the thrill of calling out a stranger with a clean sentence and a clean conscience. Mid-20s me. Build an online persona that lives on certainty and performs outrage with good grammar. Threads about pay gaps, threads about task dumping, threads about weaponized helplessness. Attention is a warm lamp, and I am a sleepy cat. Friend circle becomes a choir. We harmonize on the chorus that men are a hazard you manage, not people you meet. One morning I post a long rant about how women carry the feelings for everyone around them like unpaid Sherpas. It trends, as expected. Then a reply shows up. Try assuming Goodwill for a week. You might find more neighbors than enemies. Feel the heat rise behind my eyes. Type back something sharp about not training adults to be kind. Log off. But the sentence stays like a seed stuck between teeth. That night at ramen with the group, I floated as a joke. What if I try the Goodwill thing for a week just to prove how foolish it is? Table laughs in a practiced rhythm. They will think you are flirting, says one. Kindness is a coupon. Men try to redeem, says another. Make it content, says the last. Title it The Week I Lowered My Standards. Do not say it out loud, but I am curious. Decide to do a week. Rules on my notes app, like a lab protocol. Be polite. No sarcastic dagger words. Answer when spoken to. Keep boundaries. Track outcomes. Hypothesis. Men will confuse courtesy with invitation. Day 1. Bakery near my apartment. Usually order online to avoid the small talk minefield. This time I walk up and say, "Good morning," like a normal mammal. Man behind counter with flour on his sleeve looks up and says, "You are back to the rye loaf. Nice." Did not know he knew I existed. He slices the loaf, wraps it, adds a free end piece and says, "Bakers do this so you can taste." Hands it over and looks away like he is placing a book on a shelf. Heart stumbles over nothing. Write note. Probably a customer service habit. Still made the air feel less heavy. Day 2. Office is open plan punishment. I compliment a data analyst named Harith on a dashboard that made sense the first time I saw it. He blinks like compliments are rare stones. Thanks me, and then quietly fixes the broken link in my slide deck before a meeting. No lecture attached, no scorekeeping, simply does it and returns to his seat. Write note. Help without a hook. Day 3. Lunch with an old classmate who once told me my posts sounded like I never exhaled. Had not spoken to him since. We eat curry and talk about work and cooking. When the bill comes, he pays and says, "You get dessert next time." Words are normal. Tone is normal. Entire scene is boring in a way that feels like a clean bedsheet. I walk home annoyed that it felt nice. Day 4. Gym. This is where I expect the hypothesis to glow like a sign. Machines, mirrors, sweat. A man asks if I am using the bench. I say not yet. He says, "Great, enjoy your lifts," and wheels it away like a cautious librarian. Later, a guy offers to re-rack plates I am struggling with. Does it, nods, leaves. Grocery store after. I drop a jar. A gray-haired man catches it with reflexes that deserve a medal and says, "Careful, gravity is rude in the evening." Smiles and disappears down the spice aisle. No commentary on my body, no attempt to linger. By Friday, the notes column is longer than my doubt. I tweet something half-playful about the world not ending. Replies come in buckets. Women say, "Wait for the mask to slip." Men say, "We have always been here." And quiet is not a headline. Feel myself getting defensive at a kindness I asked for. Saturday brunch with the trio. I tell them the week has been uneventful in a good way. They exchange looks like doctors with a chart. Stress test it, they say. People are polite when you are easy to help. See? What happens when you are a problem? My spine does not love this suggestion, but my pride hears challenge music. Next week, I am paired on a campaign with a product lead named Daniel. Kind of person who listens with his eyebrows. Never comments in our internal channels about jargon or slogans. Reads quietly, does work, leaves on time. If there is a villain in this story, it has to be him, because I cannot place him on my map. Meeting room with glass walls and air that smells like marker ink. I walk in with water bottle, notes, and the conviction that I am a chaos test. Midway through, I stand to refill and manage to baptize his printed roadmap and the corner of his laptop. Horror choir in my head. Apologize 3 times in one breath. He stands, waves a hand, says it is water, not motor oil, finds paper towels, blots, keeps talking about the user journey as if we are discussing the weather. No sharp edge, no complaint, no joke about clumsy women. I wait for it. It does not arrive. Later, he shows me a slide he adjusted based on a sentence I wrote. Asks if the tone still honors the audience. I accidentally say, "You are kinder than I expected." He looks almost amused. Is that a trap? I say I am loud online, and you must have seen it. He says I have eyes, and I have patience. Both can be true. I reach for an argument about not all men, and my mouth returns empty. That night, I dump messages into the friend chat. Describe the water incident. Get back a choir again. Manipulation, performance, hunger disguised as manners. I insist there was no angle. Typing bubbles appear, then vanish like shy fish. A final line lands. You are starting to sound like the people we warn about. 2 days later, we meet for dinner at a Thai place with flickering neon and tables that wobble. I tell them I think the experiment broke something in me. Or fixed something, hard to tell. I say maybe the lens I use is not wrong, but it might be wide angle when a normal one would do. They ask me how many women got hurt, because they offered chances. I say I am not asking anyone to ignore alarms. I am wondering if I have been living with the alarm already ringing in my head. Silence sits down with us and eats our noodles. We part early without hugging. Sidewalk feels longer than usual. I stand by the curb and wish for a sentence that repairs trust without erasing caution. Nothing arrives. At home, I open my notes. The file is titled "Proof Men Confuse Kindness with Permission." I stare at it long enough that the words lose meaning. Rename it Week 1. Tell myself it is only because experiments need more data. Small truth under the big rationalization. I want to keep meeting people without rehearsing their guilt for them. Next morning, I go back to the bakery. The flower sleeve man says the rye is still waiting for you. I say, Maybe I will try the sourdough today. He grins, like I just changed a routine we both were pretending was fate. Take the bag. Step into the street. Feel the air do that light thing again. The poster on my wall still says, "Women do not need permission." I do not plan to take it down, but I write a new line under it on a sticky note. I do not need permission to rethink my certainty either. Week 2 begins, and nothing explodes. Kind of anticlimax that feels like a punchline. The world did not change. Only the order in which I listened did. End of story, but not the end of the file.